All right, here we go. Welcome to part 3 of Doing College on Purpose. I am your host, your coach, your teacher, Best Bet Dan. Boom. My name is on the chain. Make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram. That's my Insta right there at Best Bet Dan. Definitely tap in. I would love to hear what you've thought about the series so far. Again, this is part 3 and it's the last part. So, I'm going to share some thoughts and I'm going to just go and cook for a little bit and kind of just share some final thoughts as we wrap up. Also, too, I didn't do this on the first 2 videos, but your boy is also an author. So, boom, get more from the game. It is available on Amazon. The link for this is going to be in the description as well. If you're an athlete or you love sports, go get a copy of this. You're going to love it. Yeah, it's definitely fire. So just want to throw that out there for you guys. But let's get into it. So we're going to talk about navigating college life's challenges, right? So we know that there's going to be challenges in everything that you do in life. And we're going to talk a little bit about what can happen with college. So let's get into our first slide. So the vices. When you get to college, if you're, again, a freshman, or if you're on your way into your freshman year, or even if you've been in college for a while, you can verify everything I'm saying. Every vice, everything. I'm talking from drugs, pills, weed, all hard drugs, heroin, coke. It's all available on college campuses. There's all types of parties. There's a lot of promiscuity going on, so a lot of sex. There is alcohol. There is literally any vice that you can think of is available on a college campus. And so, number one, it's good to be aware of that. It's good to be aware of that and understand that because you won't get blindsided. I've watched people get blindsided because they just did not know what they were going to get into or what they were getting into when they stepped on a college campus. So, it's all going to be there. It's all going to be there. And you're going to have to make decisions in terms of like, how do you handle this? So have open conversations with mentors about navigating college challenges like party culture, substance use. Like, please start talking about this stuff. Please understand, so if you're someone who is already drinking, right, you really need to understand what your limit is, right? Now, why didn't I say, just don't drink? Well, because if you're already drinking, you just need to understand, hey, when I'm out and about, I know that this is my limit to where I'm no, once I get to this point, then I'm not coherent anymore. I don't know what's going on and I could potentially be in danger, right? So it's understanding yourself. It is, even with weed, right? So I know several people who just from weed have had some really life-altering experiences because they got weed that was laced. So again, I don't use drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't use substances. I just never have. It's never been something I've really kind of wanted to do. But if you are using those things, you need to be safe. And I'm gonna go on record and just say don't, you should stop because it's not bringing the best out of you. Okay. And the one thing that I want to put this point in here very intentionally, right? And I'm gonna put the camera back on me when I say this. Living the college life, quote unquote, because we've all heard that phrase, parents, you got to go live that college life. The college life does not end when you leave college. Say it again. The college life does not end when you leave college. Here's what I mean by that. If you start drinking excessively, start using drugs excessively, even if it's recreation, right? When you leave the campus, you've developed habits. Those habits are now a part of your life and they're going to go with you. So it would be in your best interest, right, to not develop detrimental habits, to not, develop things that are going to hurt you in the long run. Again, I've watched so many people in my generation who during that season of their lives, they picked up some really, really bad habits and it has affected them till this day. So be wise about what you get into for the sake of living the college experience. Does that make sense? I wanted to make sure that I really kind of went in on that. So develop personal strategies for handling social pressures while maintaining a safe and enjoyable college experience. So can you handle Can you handle peer pressure? Now, it may sound crazy. This may sound so high school, but peer pressure is very real, and it will continue to be real throughout your life. It just takes different forms. Are you able to handle situations that come up against your value system? Do you have a strategy on how to handle them? So, like, for example, right, like when people ask me, or when I've been asked in the past about, drinking, or, even invited to drugs, I simply tell people I make enough bad decisions sober. Like, I don't need help. It's like that's literally that's my response. Like, yo, like, nah. You should see some of the decisions I've made, and I'm not on drugs. So I can only imagine what could happen if I am on drugs, or if I'm high, or if I'm inebriated, or out of my character. So that's something that I've used literally for years. I think I said that a couple days ago. Somebody asked me if I smoke weed, or if and I said, nah, I don't need help making bad decisions, right? And I'm not celebrating making bad decisions. It's just that I literally don't need any help to do it, okay? So strategies. What can be a strategy for you? One strategy that I would recommend, and one that was good for me, is just staying out the way. Like, for me, like, I just knew, like, hey, like, in high school, I went to a few parties, and even in college, I went to a couple of them, not a lot. But when I went, like, so, and now I'm about to date myself. 2006, 2007, around that time, there was a song called Knuck If You Buck. The younger people, you probably know the beat. You're familiar with it because of the song Juju on the Beat. But Knuck If You Buck was the fight song of our generation. Like, when that song came on, there was going to be a fight. There was no if, maybe, no. When that song came on, it was just a matter of when the fight broke out. And so whenever I was at an event that was like a party type situation, when I heard that song, that was my cue. Anybody that rode with me in my car, like, hey, we out. And I'm not asking questions. I'm not, oh, no, Steve. Nope, you on your own. I'm leaving. I'm not. This is my cue. I heard that first ting, because the song goes ting, ting, ting. When I heard that first ting, we're out of there. I'm not risking it. I don't have time to risk it because, again, I've seen how this goes down before. I've heard about how it goes down. And yeah, and so literally there was, I want to say one occasion specifically, when we were leaving the event, because I always used to park far away from parties because I just never wanted people to just know what my car looked like in case anything ever went down. I don't know. It's just, my dad was a cop, and so I just kind of did weird safety things like that. So we're walking to my car, which was like a 10-minute walk away. And sure enough, as we're walking to the car, we hear ambulance, we hear cops, everything. They go right to where the party was because a massive fight had broken out literally when Knuck If You Buck came on. So, what are your strategies? What are your strategies for handling their peer pressure? What kind of answers do you have in your pocket ready for when someone says, hey, let's do this, let's do that, or hey, you want to try this, or hey, you see what I'm saying? So make sure that you've got those things in order. All right, practical implementation for part 3. Develop a mentorship relationship where you can discuss personal challenges and receive guidance on handling difficult situations. Having people, or having a person that you can be 100% transparent with and say, hey, look, this is what's happening and I need help. Like, that is so valuable. I would particularly encourage you to have this person to be someone who is in an older generation, and this be a cross-generational relationship, because they're going to have a bit more wisdom and experience when dealing with this. Obviously, you might have some people your age that you deal with or you talk to as well about this, but 100% would recommend that this be a cross-generational relationship. Create a personal code of conduct that includes how you will manage invitations to parties, how you will engage with campus life while staying true to your values. Super important. We talked about that in video 2. And then number 3, participate in campus safety programs to educate yourself on maintaining safety in new social situations. So know what the campus has. Understand what their safety protocols are. Understand, I know with and I don't know if they have them anymore, but the college that is in the area here, RIT, my mom went to that college. And so on the campus, they have all of these like blue lights, and every blue light was a telephone, where if you were in an emergency, you can get to one of those phones and you can pick it up and it will go straight to the dispatcher, and you're able to, get help. So understand what systems are in place to help you, because they're there to do just that. They're there to help you. Your safety is important. And you want to make sure that you have a plan for your safety and you know what to do in case there ever is an emergency. All right, so that's the end of my slides. I'm gonna spend a few minutes just cooking if that's cool with you guys. So there's something very specific that I wanted to discuss to start kind of this little session off of this video. And that is I wanted to talk about what I call the partial degree. Now, what is a partial degree? Very simple. In our country, in America, we have so many people that went to college for 1, 2, or 3 years but didn't finish, right? So that's what I call a partial degree. If you went to college, so I have a partial, right? I did 1 year of college. I didn't finish, but I was on the campus. I was in the environment for 1 year. So specifically, the reason why I want to deal with this is because some of you that are watching this, maybe many of you that are watching this, you may only go to college for 1 year. You may only go to college for 2 years, and then you didn't get a degree, but what did you get from college? So this is what did you get from college, even though you did not get a degree? This is what I want to jump into. One of the main purposes for me creating this series is so you could get so much out of the experience that even if you don't get the diploma, you can still look back and say, wait, whoa, hold on. I got so much value from that season of my life because I went in there on purpose. I went in there knowing what I was doing, and I had a strategy to make connections. I had a strategy to get connected with the city around me and the different people in the town and, really build relationships. I had a strategy to find out different resources, and I did not go to, and even though I did not finish, because here's the thing, life's going to happen, right? And many people who don't finish, they don't finish because life happens. Family members could get sick. There could be financial problems. There could be all sorts of things that contribute to you not finishing school. But if you're maximizing the time that you're on the campus, if you're literally being strategic about building relationships, if you are being intentional about staying connected with people once you build relationships with them, I would submit to you that you can create more value than the diploma if you do college on purpose. So again, very specific message because I know not everyone's going to finish. And to the ones who do finish, it's going to make your degree that much more valuable because, again, you've made the connections. And it wasn't just about us four and no more and being in your little group, but you expanded yourself. You learned different cultures. You spent time. So one of the things that I didn't do, and I look back in hindsight, I was like, man, I wish I would have done that. I had a friend named AJ when I was at Palm Beach Atlantic University. And AJ several times invited me to come home and meet his family on the weekend. I think he lived a little bit north of the campus in Florida. I want to say maybe in Port St. Lucie or somewhere further up north. And I never went. I just never took the opportunity. But in hindsight, what I know now is that, I would have got to meet his family. I would have got to be around his friends, and I would have been able to make some really cool connections that potentially I could have had to this day. But I wasn't moving strategically at that time. I wasn't doing college on purpose. And so it was just like, you know what? I don't know him that good. I just don't want to go. And there wasn't like a safety thing or anything like that. It was just ignorance. I just didn't know what I didn't know and didn't understand that it was a chance to see a new city. It was a chance to just be around new things. And again, I lived this experience. I went through this not knowing what I was doing, so I can come back and tell you to do college on purpose. So I think that's really the final thought that I want to leave you with for this series is get everything you can out of college. Get everything. Don't leave any rock unturned. Take chances. Be wise about the chances that you take. Let me say that. But put yourself out there because you really are in a space where there's an equalizer. You're meeting people from all over the world, all different kinds of backgrounds. You have people that come from literally the poorest parts of society. You have some of the most affluent families that are at your college. You're all on the same campus. So gather information, ask questions, and have a great time. But more importantly, and most importantly, do college on purpose. I'm Best Bet Dan. I thank you guys for checking out this series. If you're interested in learning more about what I do as a coach, There's some other videos on my channel that will kind of, show you what I do. But in the description, there's a link to where you can check out my course, Best Bet Skills Academy. And it may be something that's a good fit for you if you're interested in building high impact communication skills. But once again, I'm Best Bet Dan. Thank you so much. And I'm out. Peace.